Hey, do you guys know what that is? It's a rarity nowadays, but it's 6 to 8 inch sardines being loaded on board the Searcher as Chuck Zimmer from Z Custom Rods is there. Looks like they're going to have sardine and anchovy for their 5-day trip. Live squid has been plentiful in Southern California. That's led to incredible fishing like this deck full of white sea bass for the Amigo from 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro. They left them biting. Please don't forget to support the Friedman Adventurers family members who make this all possible, like the taxman, Tim Marquez, and your garage door man, Joe Welker, who does a great job and gets rave reviews here at Friedman Adventures. Heating and or air conditioning needs, it's our dear friend John Lopez, and also the Island Spirit, Ventura Sport Fishing. You can't beat it. Chris Isaac and the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, www.longbeachsportfishing.org.
Get out of bed and wake up the kids, 'cause you know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Fishing reports up and down the coast. Your Phil Friedman, your coffee-loving host. So much fishing intel, it feels like cheating when you tune into the morning briefing. Inshore, offshore, from the surf, bluefin, yellowtail, pod, surf, perch. They'll tell you where the fish are and what they're eating when you tune into the morning briefing. So give it a like and subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified of all the fishing content coming your way. Friedman Adventures is here to make your fishing day. It's a morning briefing, morning briefing.
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. This absolutely, look at that, gorgeous, lovely Monday morning, man. There is no wind. There's a little mist in the air, and it's overcast, but the air temperature is beautiful, and that water, just look at how tranquil and beautiful it is. But it's anything but tranquil out there in areas like Cortez Bank, where there's bluefin tuna jumping out of the water this morning. Huge areas of fish from there up to near San Nicolas Island, all the way down to San Martin Island, which is 140 miles below the border. And below that, it's really phenomenal. Is this the best fishing of 2025? I could make the case that it is. We have got white sea bass, we've got halibut, we've got great local sand and calico bass fishing with some yellowtail mixed in. We have got tremendous fishing at the islands. The Coronado Islands have finally clicked into gear. And San Clemente, well, Jeff Markland and the Thunderbird are already catching some of those big quality forkies, those big yellows here this morning. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh my God, is that good? And is that good to be with you all? Saw so many of you last night at the Orange County Fair. Can't tell you how big a deal that is for me, for yours truly, to be recognized. Man, I really appreciate all of your great support. Hit that like button, share these videos everywhere. Don't forget to subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel and tick that rotten, filthy, disgusting little bell, and you'll be notified when there is new content. Also, you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. We'll give it the Tootsie test here in a moment to see what this water temperature feels like, but there has been outstanding fishing. Let's start in Mexico Lindo down in Mexico at Cedros Island. Man, are they catching white sea bass or what? Rosie Flowers reporting that at Cedros Sport Fishing, nice water here this morning, nice and clean. Oh my God, is that beautiful. Good sea bass fishing, Rosie says. Down there, there's yellows kicked in there with it and some good calico bass fishing also at times. I skipped over La Paz because down there at Tail Hunter International, our friends Jonathan Roldan and Jill Roldan have been having outstanding fishing. It's really starting to come on. They went through a slow period, but now we're seeing more Dorado, some wahoo kicked in there, the marlin bite, both on the stripers and the blues, and hopefully maybe a black from time to time as we get deeper into the summer, man. All that warm water will flush in there. You'll see more of those kinds of fish. That's all starting to bite down there. We get you down 140 miles below the border, and it's absolutely fantastic out of San Quintin right now. Chifalo Flores from Tiburon Pangas has been doing really, really well. Jeff Lingle's been fishing offshore, and I'll talk about his experiences on the Bluefin Tuna in just a moment. Runs a private yacht and was fishing down there. He goes in on the beach, however, and he says, man, it's all the yellowtail you could possibly want. Not only that, barracuda, there's halibut, and there's so much more. Yes, Jeff keeps getting a little sample of the YFT. The yellowfin tuna has been pretty darn good down there. Not huge numbers, but a little sprinkling of that YFT. Hopefully a sign of things to come for a little bit later this year. Also, as we move you up, Coronado Islands are starting to chew. That is in Mexico, right? And we're going to talk Ensenada, but the Coronado Islands are also going to provide you with some excellent yellowtail action right now. We'll talk about that when we get into our islands, but boats out of Popotla, for example, which is a 15-minute drive south of Rosarito Beach. There's a little area there where you can jump on a panga like Cortez, sport fishing with Carlos Cortez. He is a great guy, and there's been some great fishing there. Yesterday, Carlos had bluefin tuna, but he can fish the Coronado Islands and loves to do it on a regular basis. Ensenada, how can you beat what is going on there? And our dear friend, Berenice Cardona Soto, her daughter is Paulina. Of course, Paulina from Paulina Fishing Live, my co-host when I'm in Mexico, just getting back. Paulina, that is, from the big show there, ICAST in Florida, where she was the hit of the party. At least that's what she tells me. Paulina's always exaggerating about things. Berenice with a nice bluefin tuna fishing out of Ensenada, as good as it gets right now. If you want to stay inshore and fish bass and barracuda, yellowtail, there's also great rock fishing down there right now. It's fantastic in Ensenada. It cannot get much better than it is. Let's talk long range because, oh my God, what a season for the guys that are on these 8-day trips right now. It has been absolutely phenomenal. I don't know how it can get any better than it is. The Royal Polaris, they had just phenomenal yellowfin tuna and yellowtail fishing, starting their trip and having great fishing. The Independence got down to the zone at 12 noon, a little bit late yesterday. Just lights out yellowtail fishing, as good as you could possibly want it. And how about the XL finishing up another 8-day trip? Tons of yellowtail, tons of yellowfin tuna. Limits for these guys, no doubt about it. They go into the beach. Look at that White Seabass, beautiful WSB. As I mentioned, these guys on their way home will go into the beach and catch sand bass, calico bass, white sea bass, yellowtail, you know, just a variety of different other species, including some really good cod fishing. So it has been absolutely spectacular. Let's talk about our bluefin tuna by Cortez Bank, red hot. I mentioned that because boats from San Diego and up here in the LA Orange County area, in fact, up in the Channel Islands, that is accessible to them. It is phenomenal out there, and probably the best news about our bluefin tuna bite, especially for the crews who have to work, is they are biting in the daytime. Really good fly line bait fishing for the bluefin tuna. The vast majority of fish are being taken on a good hot chovy right now. That means 25-pound fluorocarbon and a number 2 blacktail hook. Sometimes you can drop down to a number 4. The grade of fish anywhere from, I want to say 15 to 80 pounds, but a lot of that 15 to 30 pound BFT running around. You see it everywhere. It's exciting. It's fun fishing. Don't be ashamed to bring a spinning reel if you're not proficient at making a cast with a conventional reel. This grade of fish is just perfect. Don't fish the spinning reel at night when you're catching 200 pounders, and every once in a while you might get screwed and hook a big fish while you're fly lining in the daytime. But for some of you who have a little bit of trouble making that cast with that small bait, the anchovy, you might want to try that. Elsa Flores was on board the Legend, and they had limits. It's just about limits for everybody. I'm going to mention some boats. Just about everybody had limits of fish. They had limits. Check that out. Really great fishing for them. Pegasus on a 3-day trip. Limits of bluefin tuna. Tremendous fishing on board the Pegasus. Tradition limits of bluefin. Highliner limits. Freedom 22nd Street landing, as I mentioned, had 30 bluefin tuna on a 1.5-day trip. Mimi Pham down there at Point Loma Sport Fishing said, hey, Phil, Oceanside 95, man, they had a great hit with limits on the bluefin tuna. So really great stuff going on. A lot of that stuff, Cortez Bank, some of it on the backside of San Clemente. We've seen fish starting to bleed in to the Channel Islands. It's fantastic. Now, I want to take you back down to San Quintin just to give you an idea of what's going on down there. Jeff Lingle, our very own Jeff Lingle, who provides us with such great intel. He's such a hard fisherman, does such a great job. Used to call 976 Tuna back when I was doing that. Really, really appreciate all you do. Jeff was down there. They had limits of bluefin tuna on their 3-day trip. I think they had 4 guys on that trip. 9 of their fish over 100 pounds. They had a 190, a 177, and a 165 for their standouts. They had 5 yellowfin tuna down there. They had all of the yellowtail and barracuda anyone in their right mind could possibly want. Absolutely fantastic. These fish now have transitioned over into a daytime bite, and that is welcome news. That is not to say you can't still get bit at night. So you're more than likely going to be doing daytime and nighttime fishing until you limit out, and then maybe you go kelping and find some of the yellows that have been on the kelps. It has been absolutely spectacular. Man, I can't emphasize enough. You know, on the thumbnail, I kind of put up their best fishing of 2025. That's kind of a question for you. You want to drop a comment down below? I would love to hear it. Is this the best? It is really phenomenal. We are so blessed here in Baja and in California with this great fishing. Let's talk islands now. And the Coronado Islands, we've been looking at yellows for 2 months down there, and now they're starting to bite on board the Point Loma. Our dear friend El Toro Jose from Sharking Crew, man, he did it. Anybody that's got as their icon or whatever you call it on their Facebook page, Curly from the Three Stooges is a good man, in my opinion. Best comedians who ever walked the face of the earth, the Three freaking Stooges. Great trip for him. He had limits of yellowtail. He had 3 bait fish, 2 ironfish. Really awesome fishing. 35 yellowtail on the boat. Point Loma for only 14 anglers. The yellows are really starting to bite. And we mentioned to you yesterday that conditions were less than optimum. Those conditions are starting to straighten out. Water temperature looks good. The clarity looks good. Currents running. It's looking good at the Coronado Islands. We mentioned to you at San Clemente Island that we have already seen some big yellows. The ones that get on the backside, dropper looping with live squid on the Thunderbird. Look like fish you'd catch at Guadalupe Island. It's really been absolutely fantastic. Really good stuff going on there on the front side. You'll catch more yellowtail on the surface iron. Pretty good calico bass fishing. Catalina Island remains a little bit on the scratchy side. A few bass, a few barracuda, a few bonito. You can catch rockfish. There's an occasional yellowtail there, but it has been not wide open, let's put it that way. And then we get you up into the Channel Islands, and man, I'll tell you, it's been absolutely a phenomenal year. You could argue that that's been the best fishing all year long. And now that we've got this bluefin and everything else going on, it's just the whole thing. The whole bite here in Southern California is absolutely phenomenal. Up in the Channel Islands, there was a little bit of a lack of sea bass yesterday, it seemed like, but the boat pressure was horrific. There were a lot of boats, no question about it. Mirage had 3 white Seabass on board the Island Spirit. They had plenty of rockfish for the kids yesterday. Phenomenal fishing on their Kids Fish Free Day. The Island Spirit runs out of Ventura Sport Fishing, and they have announced another halibut special on Wednesday, and I highly recommend you take advantage of it. Daniel Hadaway, the captain, has been doing great. By the way, he'll join us in between or sometime today. We've got 2 live shows for you today. Danny Cadota's show at 4 o'clock from 22nd Street Landing, 6 p.m. over there at Island Fishing Tackle in the beautiful city of Carson, California. We're going to be live with Tackle Shop Confessions, and we'll have Daniel on to tell you more about this trip that they have coming up on Wednesday. But it's a halibut only special. Highly recommend you jump on board. 805-676-3474. Light load right now, so they may get out very, very light. You should jump on board. Once again, the Stardust up there out of Santa Barbara with tons of rockfish. The gray light yesterday, 2 halibut. And I'm just mentioning the halibut and white sea bass. All those guys usually have other species in there, you know, like calico bass, and on the beach they're catching sand bass there. They've been doing pretty good on that stuff. So it's been really excellent fishing up there in the Channel Islands. We keep going up, and Monterey, we're seeing some really good lingcod fishing and rock fishing. Up in San Francisco, continue to see outstanding halibut fishing. That's been really, really good. Lovely Martha up there with 21 striped bass, and they also had 17 halibut for 22 anglers. They've had limits of halibut on many of their trips up there. 2 fish per rod on the halibut up in San Francisco. So really good stuff going on. Let's talk about our local fishing down in San Diego. On board the Dolphin, John Ho. We love John. He's such a great ambassador for sport fishing. And Tommy Miles joined him. Tommy, so good to see you out on the water, my friend, doing your thing. And the healing effect of that beautiful Eastern Pacific, I don't have to tell you anymore. You felt it yesterday, Tommy. Way to go. They had a mix of sculpin and sheephead. In fact, John had a couple sheephead, and he said, don't leave the shrimp at home. Bring some shrimp with you. You'll catch more sheephead. On board the new Seaforth, excellent mix of calico bass and sand bass. And they've been catching yellowtail on a fairly regular basis. The daily double limits of sand bass. Moving you up freelance last night. Another twilight, another night of limits of sand bass. Absolutely phenomenal twilight fishing continuing. Native Sun, freelance. Many other boats are getting in on it. Don't forget, on board the El Patron out of Long Beach Forward Fishing, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. You can get on there. Nice limited load twilight bass fishing. It's been phenomenal. We had a recent trip that was absolutely fantastic. Local fishing for the victory. Very good yesterday. They had 3 halibut to go along with a good catch of sand bass. Enterprise. All these guys have been doing good. Up there in Redondo, morning Redondo special. Rockfish afternoon. Pretty decent calico bass fishing up out of Marina del Rey. Those boys with some good sand bass fishing up in that neck of the woods. Filling in with rockfish in case the sand bass do not want to nibble for you. It's really good local fishing. As I mentioned a moment ago, we also have seen some really good fishing with regard to sand bass, calico bass, barracuda up in the Channel Islands. It's been good. You know, these bluefin are up on the surface foaming right now, and that means they will eat a clear popper, the Tuna Riot Popper. Wow, the construction on this jig is so good, and they bite it like nothing else. Tuna Riot Clear Poppers. Take it to the bank, man. It's a lot of fun to see them blow out those bluefin on that jig. That is really outstanding stuff. Really great fishing here in Southern California and the Southern California surf. Man, this water is so clean and beautiful. You just gotta think there's a corvina swimming by. I know I do this all the time, thinking that magically we'll see one together here in the beach, but so far, no luck. But man, is that water beautifully clean, nice and warm. Feels so good. Feeling so blessed to be standing on this beach with you all this morning. Down there around Huntington Beach, we're seeing around the pier some sand crabs you can pick up. Catch an occasional corvina. There's some bar perch down there, an occasional yellowfin croaker. Same thing down here at the tower. We continue to see some decent walleye perch mixed with some barred perch and also the occasional corvina here around this part of the world. Don't forget, if you're going surf fishing, you want to go to Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California. They got all the bait and tackle you need, not only for Southern California surf fishing, as they are SoCal surf fishing headquarters, but they got everything you'll need for offshore also. For bluefin, for yellowtail, for white seabass, they have got it all. Here in the Surfside area, looking down toward the jetty, there's been quite a bit of short halibut down there by that jetty. Lucky crab lures or a small chrome crocodile can also be super, super effective on that bite. Up there in the Santa Monica Bay, we've seen a little bit of yellowfin croaker there, but more corvina up there around the Topaz Rock jetty down toward the pier. And also we have seen some pretty good fishing up there in El Segundo, that area. We've seen some yellowfin croaker in that neck of the woods. My God, is that a big Dane walking down the beach behind me. When I was a kid, my parents had Great Danes. They are called gentle giants. They are such great creatures. I wonder if this gentleman will let me have a look. That is one gorgeous dog. Can I put him on our live podcast there for a second? You mind if I pet that gentle giant? Wow, that is a gorgeous dog. Man, awesome. Thank you. Have a blessed day, my friend. What a great dog, man. I love those Danes. Such a great dog. All right, my friends, what can I tell you? It's another gorgeous day with lovely people and even a Great Dane showing up for the morning briefing. Fishing is as good as you could possibly want it to be right now. Really, really good stuff. 2 live shows for you. We'll be down there at our home base on 22nd Street Landing, where this podcast actually got all started. Friedman Adventures, thanks to many people, but Mike Morrison, the manager there, he was a big one, man. He was the one who suggested we do the podcast there. And Mike, I owe you for that. We'll never, ever forget that. And I won't forget you, because we've had about 8 million views in the past 28 days when you combine all of our social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. I never dreamt that we'd be getting those kinds of numbers, and we owe that all to you. I'll see you at 4, I'll see you at 6, I'll see you sometime in between all of that with Daniel Hadaway, live from the Island Spirit. I send you all my very, very best. Only 20 more days of sleep deprivation at the Orange County Fair for yours truly. Hope to see you there. Hope to see you somewhere else really, really soon.